So there are a few speakers. I'll call 3 at a time. Please come forward, give us your name, and please adhere to the time limit. Carl Muhammad, Courtney Salter, Mark Stampler.
Ready? Once again, good evening, team players, as we continue to try to prepare ourselves here in Palm Beach County. And I just visited the 24th Annual Summer Institute for African and African American History. And as you guys were talking about safety, I want you, I know you've got a lot on your plate tonight, but I wish you would consider the idea of safety in the African American community as a result of being miseducated. And when we're miseducated, there's a thing in the universe called cause and effect. Because you give us the wrong information, we make terrible decisions. And I know that you had a shooting in one of the high schools, but these kind of shootings are taking place inside of Black America, all across America. And I always thought, and I always had hopes that Palm Beach County, since at one time we was identified as exemplary as it related to the Florida Statute 1003.42, but it doesn't seem that we've ever put any resources behind that kind of activity. Now, I know the state of Florida passed that mandate, and it was an unfunded mandate, and I don't see how all of us that talk about humanity can see African-American, particularly African-American male children being caught in the position that they're in, and then we have so many poverty pimps right now that are lining themselves up, charter schools and all of the rest of the things, and none of them have any kind of clear direction for African-American children. At some juncture in our development here in Palm Beach County, I'm hoping that we would have a serious conversation, a serious sit-down with everybody so that we can really look at this problem that miseducation is creating for everybody in, well, everywhere. And, you know, everybody's talking about a lawsuit. I think the African-American community is do that more. I mean, we need a class action lawsuit more than anybody that ever lived, based upon the fact of all of your data and all of the help that we're receiving. And I always like to remind people that the problem that we have been created by the miseducation. You know, as I sit inside of the 24th Summer Institute, and to hear clear, concise information coming toward me, and to know what has been deposited within my neighborhood, I'm asking you sincerely, please consider the time, please consider African-American children, and please give them a real opportunity for a real world-class education that we always profess that Palm Beach County offers. And lastly, you know, I've tried to be the longest-running volunteer that y'all have to try to assist y'all with that kind of activity. So I'm not just coming just to complain. I come to offer my assistance and offer whatever it is that we can accumulate inside of our community to help you to get a balance. And I know it's difficult because I see it happening all across America, but I do have faith in Palm Beach County. Thank you for your time.
Mrs. Salter.
Good evening. My name is Courtney Salter, and I come in peace. I am the mother of 3 children, 2 of whom have recently graduated, yay, and 1 who is still a part of the Palm Beach County school system. So I would like to start by thanking Dr. Fenoy and the board for allowing me this opportunity to speak with you this evening. In addition to being a mother, I am a campaign manager for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, or LLS, specializing in our Student Series program. Student Series is built around leadership, philanthropy, and STEM principles. Current estimates predict that there will be nearly 1 million additional STEM professionals needed in the next decade, which is around the same time that some of your students will be entering the workforce. The future STEM thinkers and problem solvers are in your classrooms. Educating students is vital to the future of blood cancer research, and it is through learning and volunteer-driven philanthropy that we hope to inspire the scientists of tomorrow. That's why LLS partnered with a renowned education resource to develop a comprehensive K-5 STEM curriculum. This year, we will be adding STEM lesson plans for middle school as well. All materials have been designed to give students and faculty an in-depth look at LLS-funded science and the researchers that are supported by the Student Series fundraising efforts. All lessons cover key Common Core skills and are designed to be flexible for busy teachers. Teachers using STEM curriculum can incorporate a Student Series fundraising campaign into the unit to give their students a holistic view of what they are learning about. I would like to give a special recognition to Mrs. Gail Pasturzik, principal of Elbridge Gale Elementary School in Wellington. This school year marked their 10th year of participation in Student Series Pennies for Patients program. They have consistently been our top performing school in Palm Beach County and have been a transformational partner with LLS. Their support has enabled the LLS Palm Beach area chapter to provide copay and travel assistance to over 368 patients and their families last year alone. Unfortunately, Mrs. Pasturzik was not able to be here this evening to accept their STEM in Action Award, but their commitment to LLS is truly extraordinary, and we thank them so much. Elbridge Gale is just one of more than 50 schools in Palm Beach County that participated in Student Series this past year. Our goal is to reach all students in the district and to share the valuable STEM resources available to them. With their participation, LLS will be closer to achieving its mission of finding a cure for blood cancer and improving the lives of patients and their families. At LLS, we firmly believe that beating cancer is in our blood. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Diane Halperin, Lowell Levine, Curtis Sherrod. Mrs. Halperin.
Hi, my name is Diane Hampton. I live in North County. I'm a parent of students who have now graduated and a past teacher and a way past gifted advisory member for the state and the gifted advocacy chairperson for this district. I'm here today because I'm confused. I come before you this evening seeking clarity. I understand that I must bring something to an area superintendent before I speak in front of the board. I have been informed that this administration has been asked to not communicate with me due to fear that I will be filing a lawsuit or some other action. I have no intent to file a lawsuit, but I am pondering speaking out and exposing things that to me are quite interesting. I can't speak for anyone but myself. If administrators are asked to not communicate with me, am I gagged from bringing my concerns to the board? I know nobody's going to answer me right now, but I just want to see, I do have documentation of meetings where high people were invited. Is it necessary that I go back and some of these people no longer work for the district and say, I would like to take this to the board and have another meeting with them, or is other documentation a good substitute? Right now, I'm hoping that I misunderstand and that there is a way for me to speak, because I would like to exercise my right to free speech. Otherwise, I feel gagged. I would prefer not to feel gagged, and I do hope that I learn that I can speak and I can come before this board to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Levine.
Thank you very much. My name is Lowell Levine. I am the founder of the nationally known Stop Bullying Now Foundation, headquarters in Lake Worth, Florida, and we're the only foundation in the country that's connected with the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and we're considered as one of the top 3 anti-bullying experts, school violence in the country. There are many schools I could talk about now, but we only have 3 minutes, so I'm just going to take 4 of them that happened recently. Limestone Creek. Girl left a suicide note in her father's bedroom, took a knife to school in a backpack, and was going to kill herself. The father saw the note, rushed to the school, was able to save her. They put her into a hospital for a week for observations. She's under psychiatric care and being watched very carefully. Beacon Cove Elementary. Girl was beaten up. She was abused. She was threatened to be killed. She now is under the care of a psychiatrist. The two girls that threatened to kill her and beat her were in juvenile court today, but I don't know what the decision was. Omni Middle School. Boy, for the last year and a half, has been brutalized by other students and the faculty, mainly the principal. Nothing's being done. He's being watched for suicide attempts, and he's going to a psychiatrist. Mr. Barberi apparently doesn't want to get involved with it because he never answers her calls.
Mr. Levine, please don't use people's names as you do this. Stick to your topic.
We're talking about children's lives here. Boynton Beach High School. A couple of weeks ago, and I have it on tape. A girl was badly beaten. She was called white trash. She suffered a concussion when they put her down on the ground, punching her face. Rushed to the hospital. She's partially brain damaged. Board members, you don't realize how many calls I get from parents in this county. You got a problem. But I can help you if you only call me to come in and talk to you to tell you how I could reduce this problem. But no one wants to talk to me. I could reduce this bullying problem and this violence problem, but no one wants to talk to me. Safe Schools is not going to do it. Psychologists are not going to do it. Your outside psychologists are not going to do it. I'm the only one that can help you save these children's lives. Now I'm talking to David Arenberg and the Department of Justice. We want to bring up murder charges, attempted murder charges to the principals,
Thank you very much.
superintendents, and other
3 minutes.
people in the post.
Thank you
so
very
if you want to talk to me, call me,
Mr.
and I'll be
Sherrod.
happy to come to you to explain to you how to save children's lives. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for listening.
Mr. Sherrod.
Yes, board members, staff, and citizens of Palm Beach County, I speak tonight on the matter of one Keith Tillman. It's come to my attention that Mr. Tillman has resigned. However, Mr. Tillman's rant was not nearly as disturbing as the fact that these students that he had were high school students. I mean, they've been educated here in Palm Beach County for 9 to 10 years. Now, under Florida State Statute 1003.42, subsection 2, subsection H, it has been illegal not to teach them about their history, okay? Now, if they had been taught about their history, they would know for a fact that America wouldn't even exist without Haiti, okay? Remember, the British fleet controlled the eastern seaboard. They controlled every harbor from Boston all the way down to Savannah. Why didn't the British just simply go around Florida and up through the Mississippi Valley? Because there were colonial armies in the way. Okay, many of them whose descendants now sit on our borders and being incarcerated as they come across. Okay, but the main group was the Haitians. Okay, they played a pivotal part in the Battle of Savannah, which, by the way, was the largest battle of the war. Okay, to this day, there is a statue honoring the Haitian troops who fought and died for American freedom at the Battle of Savannah. Okay, one of those people portrayed on the thing is rumored to be Henry Christopher, the drummer boy. He went on to become the first president of Haiti. Now, they took those skills back to Haiti. They defeated one French army, okay? While the French were involved with the French Revolution, they turned around and beat a British army who tried to recoup their losses by losing the 13 colonies by attacking Haiti. They defeated them. Napoleon comes to power. He sends the largest invasion force to date into this Western Hemisphere, 70,000 troops, 50,000 to Haiti, 20,000 to secure New Orleans. Think about that 20,000 for a minute. Now, again, even though they captured Toussaint Louverture under the flag of truce, they defeated those 50,000 anyway, okay? So that forced Napoleon to withdraw his 20,000 troops. In the meantime, Jefferson had sent one part of emissaries and basically Napoleon told him where he could go. Since we're a mixed company, I won't say what he told him, okay? But he told him what he could go do, all right? Now, those 20,000 troops went down there to Haiti and got their behinds tore up. So when the next time we came around, then they offered to sell the place for $15 million. Bottom line is, no Haiti, no America. America, instead of being grateful, turned around and bargained them up to 2003 and forced them to pay a $70 million reparations for their own freedom, which comes to $2.5 trillion in the day's money. No Haiti, no United States of America. Y'all need to get a grip, because I told y'all this.
Thank you very much. So, Mrs. Halpern, I need to apologize. I called your name, but we had somebody else come up, so please.
No problem. Okay. I'm reading this that Mark Stempler wrote this email, and many of us wrote an email as well. I'm writing in support of the continued bus service to Christa McAuliffe Middle School for the students of the Canyon communities in West Boynton Beach. I'm a resident there, and 2 of my children are students at Christa McAuliffe who take the bus. I signed up to speak on this issue tonight, but I'm unable to attend as I'm an attorney in trial in Fort Lauderdale representing the school board of Broward County tonight. For many years, students residing in the Canyon communities have relied on the bus to get to and from school. It's a vital form of transportation, not only for the students, but also for the parents. The Canyon communities are working class neighborhoods. The threatened removal of the bus service from the school to these communities will place an added and onerous burden on the students' parents, many whom work and will not be able to get to the school in time to pick up their kids. Placing this unfair burden on the Canyon students and residents sends a poor signal from the school district. It would mean the school district would rather try to save a minimal amount of costs and the expense of the residents of a working community than seek the best education possible for their children that contribute significantly to the county and the district's tax base. In addition, the removal of the bus service will not benefit the school. Already there's a tremendous amount of traffic caused by parents in closer communities picking up students. The pickup line spreads down Le Chalet and even onto Jog. This poses a danger to the safety of everyone in the area. Added vehicles will make the area much more congested. Similarly, the removal of the bus will likely result in even more students walking from the school to a nearby strip mall where parents do not want to fight the traffic into the school to wait to pick up their kids. The flow of additional pedestrian students in the area further increases the safety risks of the area. In addition, while Palm Beach County District is committed to environmental sustainability, especially with its construction and promotion of green schools and buildings, it's confusing why it would seek to eliminate a convenient form of mass transportation and cause dozens of additional cars to head to the school every day. That would be opposite of an environmentally friendly approach. Several years ago, residents of the Canyon communities fought hard to convince the school district to build a middle school in that area. The need was great and the signs were obvious. The addition of these communities brought in hundreds and hundreds of families. The burgeoning student population was clear, as evidenced when Sunset Palms Elementary opened in the area. Nonetheless, the school district chose not to add a middle school. The short-sightedness of that decision is now threatening to bite into the Canyon communities again. The removal of the bus service at Christa McAuliffe would thus be insult to injury and further impediment to those families who move to the western Boynton Beach communities to seek a better education for their children. Christa McAuliffe is a great school. The students have been there 1 and 2 years already. School districts should want to support the families seeking an education there, not saddle them with an additional burden or tell them to go to Woodland Middle school's hard enough to then transition these kids who are in 7th and 8th grade to go to a new middle school. It will affect them and the parents. We're doing the best interest of the children, trying to keep them at Christa McAuliffe. But we work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Suzanne Smith, Karen Holm, Kelly Holm, Carolyn Holm.
Hello, Board. I'm Suzanne Smith, which many of you know. Dr. Fenoyd, you may not know. You're my 3rd superintendent I have been in front of. I've addressed this board 3 times on the topic of ending the lemon shuffle, which could have prevented a tragedy that we had on our school campus, which we did have one. I've come to you with prepared speeches for the 3 minutes. Today I'm going to talk to you from my heart, because I have a motto that says to live it true, and I have not been living it true. I have not given you the entire story. 5 years ago yesterday, June 19th, I was awakened by my phone ringing off the hook. At very early in the morning, summertime, we usually like to sleep in. It's one time that we allowed to do that. It was my principal secretary and then my principal informing me that there was a possible double homicide of our head custodian, Ted O'Rama, and another custodian, Chris Marshall. She asked me if I could go in and handle it. Of course, I said I will be there in 15 minutes, my driving time. Within 20 minutes, I was handing over master keys to the SWAT team and working with the police of West Palm Beach and the school district to narrow down the possible suspects. It was a long day, as she said it would be. At the end of that day, though, what you may not know is that Sergeant Key came to me and asked me if I had a place to hide. They had information that Javier Burgess, the suspect at that time, other custodian who had been moved from 3 different schools with questionable mental health issues, said that he was going to turn himself in after he killed me. Well, you see, I was following the district protocol, and that day I was to give him a verbal reprimand. So, the police officer, I said, of course, I have great friends. One of them is here today to support me. That I had to have a police escort back to my house. They said it would probably just be about 48 hours before they apprehended him, and have a police escort so I could get my dog, not this one has passed away. What I did not know is that 48 hours turned into 4 years of me having to look behind my back. And what did the district do? They thought it would be great if they would add more stress to my life and transfer me. They said I had to transfer to Jupiter High. Don't get me wrong, Jupiter High is a great school, but that's where the murderer's sister worked. So I have been living with that until last year when he finally turned himself in and is now serving 2 life sentences. So what I'm asking you, I'm sorry, I only have 3 minutes, I know that. I'm asking you to revisit the lemons shuffle that we do with our custodians. As you heard before, teachers are being fired with no cause, and so can I. I am now on an annual contract, and I could be fired probably next year at this board meeting for my speaking out.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Holmes.
This is my PTSD dog that I've had as a result, not to mention 13
Mrs. Holmes.
inches of my colon taken out. No assistance.
Good evening again. I'm Karen Holm, president of For a Better Education, a nonprofit that advocates for students with disabilities. Thank you, board members who've been meeting with me to talk about the needs of our students who have disabilities. You all know, or some of you know, that I'm not shy, but I'm actually scared to do this one. I need to report bullying from your staff. First, I received a bullying message on the evening of April 9th, the same day that I met with Ms. Andrews and staff and voiced my concerns for the disabled students of Palm Beach County. Your employee wrote to me, blank to For a Better Education, Karen, this is blank. We need to have a little chat during my non-school working hours. Please contact me after 3:30 sometime this week. My cell number is blank. If I don't hear from you, then my attorney will be reaching out. It is horribly inappropriate for any employee of yours to bully me simply because I have advocated for students with disabilities. Second, I was at an IEP meeting, a team meeting with a parent, when both the parent and I were bullied. The parent has a disability and needed the accommodation of audio recording the meeting. The parent submitted a doctor note for this. The ESC contact properly and nicely scheduled meetings for the parent and included the district's audio recording device. The parent then attended 2 team meetings. I was with them. At the end of the second meeting and after the IEP was completed, an administrator of the school announced verbally and submitted in writing an opposition to the parent recording the meeting, stating, quote, In reference to the act of audio tape recording the meeting, personally, I find this action to be an intimidation tactic by the blank and Mrs. Holm, which will inhibit true and free discussion in developing this student's IEP, unquote. It is really horribly inappropriate for any employee of yours to reprimand a parent for using an accommodation. It's bullying. I'm named in this letter, and I didn't even record anything or ask to record anything. Second, it's bullying of the parent to attempt to intimidate them not to use the accommodation that they need. Further, I believe it's a violation of the parent's civil rights and a violation of state and federal special education law. Would you please let me know if you intend to put an end to this nonsense so that I could get back to advocating? It's keeping me from advocating. Maybe if you could stop the nonsense, the staff that was spending time writing an intimidation letter to the disabled parent of a disabled student could spend a little more time helping the students of their school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Holm, and my daughter goes to Panther Run Elementary in Wellington. Dear board members, I have a few things I would like to ask for you to ask our legislators. Please ask them for more teachers to help our kids. Please ask them to lessen the testing time so children can spend more time learning. Please ask them to mandate proper use of standardized tests without the high stake attached. Most of all, ask them to revise their retention rule, because retention does not improve future student success. I know firsthand because my daughter was retained last year and scored a 1 this year on the 3rd grade FSA. iReady does not help teach children. That money should be used for more teachers to teach our children. Do not delay and deny services to any student who needs help. I ask you to write another memo to the governor about these problems. I would like to see you publicly advocating for our children. I have a request from Dr. Fenoy. Can I please have a meeting with you? I've asked numerous times last year with Dr. Avosa. None of those emails were answered. Thank you for your time and for listening. And my daughter's going to speak now.
Hi, my name is Caroline, and I go to Panther Run Elementary School. Good evening, board members. Please do not let schools stay and deny services to us, ESE children. Like me, I can tell you because I was held back in 3rd grade because of the FSA test and iReady. iReady does not teach kids because we are not learning for a real teacher. If we learn from a teacher, we understand it better. If having to do iReady done on a computer does not work for us, I ask you to advocate for us children to our learning legislators to stop hurting us children. You are mentally and physically upsetting us. Please act in acting.
Please take action.
Please take action. That is how our mom and dads vote for you. Thank you, Caroline Holm.
Don Pearson, Barbara Grossman, Mel Grossman, Chris Perryman.
Good evening again, Don Pearson. What I'd like to speak to now, out of all the years I've been here, there's been plenty of times where I myself have asked for public records request. And the county, the school district has been very good about getting the request out, so I've never had a problem. But I've been running into some problems, and it's kind of... there's some irony in that when I heard two people talking about asking for requests and not getting them. Because of the unchecked power of some principals that I spoke of earlier, I asked, last month when I was talking, I changed what I was going to say because they said I didn't get the documentation I needed, so I didn't want to speak to something I didn't do my due diligence with. Well, that's when I asked for the records request that I'm requesting so I can speak. And here we are a month later, and it's still not given to me. And I've talked to Mr. Williams, and he's been very good calling me to say, hey, have you gotten it? We're requesting it. But the information he's getting back is, oh, we thought we took care of that. And what it is, it's a stonewall tactic because the information I'm asking for, they don't want to give me. And I'm not doing it to do anything except speak truth to power. And so the process works when all the people down the line are doing what they're supposed to do. Imagine if a teacher there was a request for a teacher to give information and it wasn't given in a timely manner. Well, there's a good reason to non-reappoint you and not have to tell you why. So those kind of things, I would just like to have what's in place work. And it's been a month, and we're still working on it, and we sent another request today because when I get the information I'm looking for, then I can speak to it with the knowledge that I'm not going to make anything up. So that's really what I was talking about. And the irony, again, when I heard two people not getting what they want, I don't think it's the school district office. They're doing what they're doing. I think it's some unchecked power from some of our principals and some of our people in leadership positions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Perryman, thank you, Chairman Shaw and the board for letting me address you tonight, and Dr. Fenoy. I'm here tonight on behalf of my wife, Amanda Perryman, who has served as a kindergarten and first grade teacher to the students and parents of Palm Beach County for the last 6 years, and how Senate Bill 736 that was signed into law in 2011 by Governor Rick Scott has affected not only my wife, but other classroom teachers in this county. I know that this is a state issue, and as we talk tonight about state issues, it is not the fault and is not the burden of this county. However, we do feel that it is a responsibility of this board to look into how this bill has affected our teachers. In fact, it is true in 2012, in a board meeting just as this tonight, 4 out of the 7 board members present agreed that they would look into this type of behavior, that this is occurring in our current situation of teachers. the president of the CTA addressed the board and told of a dictator-like culture that was created by principals who were posing threats to student achievement and creating a hostile work environment throughout this district. The school district administrators promised to investigate the complaints against school principals who are allegedly harassing teachers, and this is one of the effects of this bill that was signed and championed by the Republicans in Tallahassee. So I'm here tonight to ask you all if you would like to set the record straight and give the classroom teachers of Palm Beach County and the taxpayer, which I am, an update on where we are as of 2012 when we started looking into this type of behavior with our administrators in the county. Dr. Fenoy, I believe that my mother-in-law spoke with you at the breakfast back in May. We celebrated her 35th year as a kindergarten teacher in this district this year. She retired this year, and unfortunately, it wasn't a very happy year because her daughter was non-reappointed after 2 years as a kindergarten teacher at Frontier this year. And Ms. Andrews, I've been a very big supporter of yours, and Ms. Brill, I know that both of your daughters are teachers, and I know that if this type of non-reappointment happened to your wife, when I have over there a binder of data that supports that my wife is an effective teacher and was non-reappointed as an effective teacher, if this happened to your daughters, I know that you would be sitting here tonight. So I'm asking for answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Grossman.
My name is Barbara Grossman. I'll only take a minute because I almost forgot what I was here for. But it was a great meeting and very informative. I'm here about the bill that was passed by Governor Scott, CS 989, about the reading summer programs and books that children are supposed to be evaluating. I wanted to know if any of the books that are purchased were listed by the public, if anybody reviewed them. I also wanted to know if, wanted to let people know that don't know what CS 989 is. It's a bill that was passed that anybody that has a problem, whether it be a parent or whether it be a student or anybody else that lives in the county, has a question about a book that their children are reading, they can come to the school board and have a mediator. And I want to know if there's been a mediator and if anybody has looked into some of these books. There's supposed to be a summer reading program, which is almost impossible because I called the school board 3 days ago, and it took them 4 different people to get me where I could find the reading list. And it was somewhere in the blend. Nobody knew where to find it. When the young lady that helped me, Kelly, found it for me, she emailed it to me. She was very nice. And there is a book on there that is part of a group that I'm involved with that does reading. This is an X-rated book, and it's for 8th graders, and it is on the reading summer list. It's called Killing Mr. Griffin, if anybody's interested. It's by Lois Duncan. I suggest it's suggested for 8th graders, and it's on page 4, if anybody's interested in it. I have other books here, too, that are on the objectionable list, but I just wonder, is anybody looking into this? Is anybody reading any of these books that we're buying? Those were my questions.
Thank you very much. We don't respond during a board meeting, but just so you're aware.
Let me just tell you.
Okay, let me finish. Somebody from staff will talk to you because it's been about a month or two. We did go through that process related to the legislation. So somebody from staff will talk to you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
Sure, let me just
well, go ahead,
let me just
Mr.
tell
Grossman.
you, no, I didn't get
Mr.
3
Grossman,
minutes.
please.
I went
Mr.
on
Grossman,
headline.
please.
My name is Mel Grossman. I'm president of the Palm Beach County Tea Party. Somebody said something about the Republicans in the state offices. I didn't think this was a political meeting. I'm here because I have 3 granddaughters. 2 are 27 years old, twins. The other one is 15, going to Jupiter High School. When I went to Barnes & Noble about a month ago, I look at all the items that are on display, and one was third grade primer for cursive. And I was going to buy it for my granddaughter, who was 15, but I was afraid she'd be embarrassed. But I did buy it, and not only did she enjoy it, do we know that children of that age can't write cursive because it's not taught in the schools? It's part of a Common Core no-no. I'm here because of the school grades that Palm Beach County has gotten because of Common Core. And I'll read it. Palm Beach County has an average of 48 to 35% college readiness, yet they are rated a B. In real math, less than 50% is an F. Florida grades on a curve. That's interesting. If you have a 35, you get a B. The only place that I've ever heard something like that. I am firmly against Common Core. I think most of the people that are in Palm Beach County, most of the people in the country are against Common Core. We have railed against it for 6 or 7 years now, to no avail. If anybody here has children that still go to school, do you ask them every day, what did you learn? Can you write cursive? Can you write your name? Can you write your signature? What are you reading? What are you not reading? Did you learn history? Did you learn current events? Do you know the difference between a president and a vice president? Do you know the difference between a Republican, a Democrat? Do you know there's a major midterm election coming up? And as a community activist, I urge everybody to please get out to vote. I know it sounds silly, but this election is a very big election for all of us. I want to thank one more person who I haven't seen in a while, Marcy Andrews. Nice seeing you again. I do invite anybody here who wants to speak to our Tea Party.
Okay.
We would welcome them to answer questions or just to speak
Okay.
to us.
Thank you very
and
much.
Get some session.
So
Thank you
just-
all and good luck.
And just for your information, we stopped using Common Core about 3 years ago, so it's not being used. So thank you very much. So that concludes our speakers. So we'll move back to the agenda. Mrs. Andrews.
Thank you. As I was listening to my fellow board members, and it sounds